The stars are aligned. Something is happening here. I don't know what it is. This is not normal. This is not just the normal thing here. Something is happening. Some type of cosmic, celestial, I don't know what you want to call it, but it is all happening now before our very eyes. And I don't believe in any of that stuff. But if you told me it was happening, I'd say it's the only way to explain this. This is not normal. Okay. This is not normal. I mean, I expected, good things, It is what, 42 days since the inauguration? 42 days, 21 hours, 6 minutes, 30 seconds since the. Are you seeing what's happening here? Can you believe? And it is so complicated and so fascinating that it's happening before our very eyes. And it's happening at levels and in volumes I never thought even remotely possible. We are still talking about Zelensky. We're still talking about Zelensky. I think I told you this. I think I explained this to you last night. I was watching my good buddy Peter Lavelle on RT crosstalk with George Zamuli. I'm mispronouncing his name. And they're talking about it. They're talking about Putin and this cotton idiot who just doesn't seem to get it. There's so many plates going on simultaneously. And it's what is shaping up right now to be one of the greatest geopolitical upheavals of recent history. Ukrainian soon-to-be ex-president. And let me tell you something. And I don't want to be ghoulish, and I don't want to make light of this. But if you wake up one day and somebody from Kolomoisky's team or Poroshenko or somebody says, we've had enough of this, we want him off, don't be surprised. It is the oldest truth in organized crime. It's the oldest trick. The most dangerous role to be is the loan shark. It's the worst because everybody has a benefit in seeing you gone. If tomorrow, Vladimir Volodymyr Zelensky, if Piano Man, okay, were to just disappear from the planet, do you have any earthly idea of how many people would benefit directly from it? Do you have any idea? The incentive for this, the incentive. Do you recognize the incentives, the benefits? How many people would have their problems go away? All of that money that went to him could be grabbed and taken back, redistributed. Sorry, Mrs. Z, he's gone. And he'll have a state funeral and he'll be lauded as a hero. Do you see? I'm telling you, I heard people. They're talking about this. And I'm going to try to tell you one more time. If you think you're going to get this listening to Fox News, I'm sorry. It ain't gonna happen. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. We've got so much to talk. And tonight, the State of the Union. We're going to have a follow-up, a 7 o'clock show as usual. And then we're going to meet immediately afterwards. For what is going to be democratic upheaval and disruption. So get ready, listen carefully, but first, this. Listen to me. Are you drowning in debt? You're not alone. New reports show the average person is buried under $8,674 in credit card debt, with total consumer debt soaring to a staggering $104,215, including mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit cards. It's a financial crisis, and without a real solution, many will keep spiraling deeper. That's why I want to introduce you to a powerful secret weapon that has helped so many regain control. They specialize in consolidating all your debts into one manageable monthly payment and even negotiate a settlement so that you can pay less than you actually owe. Think about this. They've already settled over $275 million in debt. Think about that. Helping people break free in an average of just 28 months. I've personally recommended their services to friends and clients who needed a way out, and now I'm bringing it straight to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. So don't wait. Book a free consultation today, right now, at NoDebtWithLionel.com. That's NoDebtWithLionel.com. The link is right under the title here. It's time to take back control of your finances. Act now. Get out of debt and start living the life you deserve. Now let's get back to what is just mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. Zelensky's been caught red-handed yet again in a staggering act of deception. And this is not really being talked about enough, but it should be. While openly negotiating a minerals deal with the U.S., remember this, he secretly signed a 100-year resource agreement with the United Kingdom on January the 17th. And we're going to talk about that just for a moment. We're going to be talking about that just for a moment. Do you understand? Yes, you do. Because you're so alert. You know what is happening. And the recent Oval Office confrontation, I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not, you can't put this into words. People are going berserk over this. Berserk. This is the story. This is the story. And if I find myself, and I want to keep saying this, I'm sorry, I'm kind of preoccupied with this. When you are the number one conservative, Trump-based connection that people have to what is going on, and it's Fox News, and you hear nothing. And it kills me. And I want to say something on a personal note, too. There is a move right now, and I want you to be a part of this. We need to have every voice available on every platform here, whether it's Al Jazeera, whether it's Jerusalem Post, Haaretz, or Haaretz, as people say it, Middle East News, Al Jazeera, whatever it is, CCP, Chinese, Russian, Danish, Syrian news. We need to be able to have everything. RT Russia Today has been sidelined, sanctioned by the pathetic Blinken administration, not Joe Biden, because they didn't want you to know anything that was going on there. And right now they are actively seeking to get back on the air. So when you see this, tell people. If you see something, tell people. You want to hear everything. You want to hear everything, whether it's RT, whether it's SD or OT or UP. It doesn't really matter. I want to hear everything. I don't want anybody, and this goes for people on college campuses. This goes, I don't care if you're pro-Hamas or pro-Israel or pro-Jerusalem. I don't care who you are. You should, even if you are, God forbid, so long as what you are saying is not in any way provoking or inciting violence, I don't want to hear somebody tell you you can't speak. I don't care what it is. No more censorship. None. Turn it off. You've got an off button. That's a volume control. Turn it off. So many people always brag. I don't watch it. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Did you see the Oscars? I don't watch the Oscars. I don't care about the Oscars. I don't watch cable. I don't watch. Okay, fine. That's your right. Good. But I don't want the Oscars capped off. I don't want MSDNC to be off the air because of what they say. If their show sucks and nobody's watching, that's an internal thing. I want freedom. But I want you to understand something too. You've got to understand and grasp and hear all of the references. How are you going to understand Zelensky and Putin and Russia and NATO if all you hear is somebody from a couch with some poor kid who can't even talk correctly on Fox News? Don't you want to hear people who explain the Minsk Accord, who want to tell you what Donetsk and Lugansk and the Donbass is? Don't you want to hear like an insight, like what are they really thinking? Don't you want to hear? Yes, that's what you want. You can't understand something if somebody, and the thing about it is this. Now all of a sudden, those feckless, spineless, atesticular, ballless, invertebrates, those orchiectomy, typical. You could take Fox News, MSDNC, CNN, and throw them all in. They were all pro-Ukraine. Every single one of them. And Fox News. But now all of a sudden, they've got the okay. They think it's okay now. Even Lindsey Graham, that ferret, that weasel, that slimy little backstabbing sidewinder, like an egg-sucking dog, like the great Terry Funk would say. Oh, my God. And I'm seeing this little girl, she sits there on a couch in the morning reading her notes. I just say whatever they tell me to say. Excuse me, you were promoting this war. You hated Putin. You were believing all this bullshit about him. And even Peter Robinson has this podcast. By the way, don't stop these people. They're still under this delusion that somehow, who was it that Putin wants Ukraine kind of like a rump state or some kind of a neutral, like in Austria. Yes. Let me ask you something. We have two basic countries to our north and south. Mexico, which is serious only in terms of this criminal cartel, but Mexico and Canada. Would you like that, or would you like Beijing there? Who wants active adversarial border countries? Jeez, I can't believe what I'm hearing. So understand, programming up, 7 p.m. usual tonight, and then after that, we're going to be going live afterwards, right after the president's triumph. I'm telling you right now, he knocked it out of the park. I can tell you right now. We can do the show right now because not only is he doing well, but the stars are aligned, because this Oval Office kerfuffle, this head-on collision between Trump and Zelensky has sent, and I'm using this word all the time, shockwaves through international geopolitical diplomatic circles. The meeting, here's the best, intended to strengthen U.S.-Ukraine relations and discuss ongoing military support and they're still devolved into a heated exchange. And would somebody please, maybe on these stupid morning shows, would you please review the possibility that maybe this guy was blown out of his mind with some kind of Peruvian flake or whatever the hell he was using? Everybody in the international circus kept talking about the fact that this guy's a dope dealer user. And look at me as I this is an allergy. Anyway, the most incredible thing, nobody will say it because it's not in the little boy script. Here's your scripts. Thank you. How y'all doing? Hi, welcome today. President Trump's going to do a great speech today. I love our troops. What about you? I love our troops too. What about you? I love our unbelievable. This just ended with the culmination in the suspension of all U.S. military aid to Ukraine. Do you get it? This is the thing, my friends. Raul Rodriguez says, will Russia upscale its attacks on Ukraine? No, it's attacks on Ukraine. What do you think it's been wanting? Do you think it? Why would somebody who wants to attack Ukraine, I don't mean to jump on you, 7 days after the military operation, sit down with Zelensky and say, let's put an end to this. Let's stop this. I don't give a shit about Ukraine. We don't want you. I don't want you to be a NATO proxy. And this Kotkin fellow says, oh, NATO's a bunch of pacifist states. I can't believe this. And OA says Zelensky belongs in jail. Madam OA, if that is true, it would have to be done by the Ukrainian people. Because I don't think he's violated an American law per se. I don't know. I do not believe so. I do not see that as such in the least. But listen to what I'm saying. Trump says, imagine if I was the angel of the future, and if I said, Mr. President, what? Who are you? I'm the angel of the future. The angel of the future. Yes, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Continue to do what you're doing. Bust their balls. Let them have it. Let me tell you what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Zelensky is going to implode. He is going to come to the Oval Office, tooted out of his mind for reasons that nobody can really understand. They really can't. I mean, they really cannot understand why he did this, why he does this. We don't understand it, right? We just don't get it. So he's going to show up, and he, believe it or not, is going to absolutely lose his mind in front of you. And he is going to meet with these jadrules, these idiot, these Democrats, and the biggest jerk off of them all is this guy Chris Murphy. Oh my God! Have you seen this Chris Murphy? Does he look at his website? Don't look away past gun safety laws. Murphy leads bipartisan group of 29 senators in calling out Amazon's mistreatment of delivery drivers. He's talking about this Sandy Hook. I mean, come on. This guy took this tooted up fool and told him, listen, you're going to go in there and you're going to let these people have it. You understand what I'm saying? Pilgrim Media says, opinion on Fed judge with USAID ties bilking Trump. Please, English. Thank you. I don't know what this means, but thank you. In any event, thank you, though. I don't know what this means. Please, I have to stop, and I'm going to read. Just be clear. Just spend this, just so I can know what it is. All right, let me go back to what I'm saying. So Murphy and these guys went ahead and they sat with him. And they said, listen, we want you to go in and want you to tell him, just put an end to it. So if I could have told President Trump from the beginning, you're going to be able to cut off all aid, and do it because of him, and something could happen to him. I don't know. And then everybody changes, and you will have ended the war because you would have ended Zelensky. Figuratively, literally, perhaps not literally, but figuratively. It's over with. Then you reach over to Putin, shake hands, bring in Xi Jinping, and everything is beautiful. You can't believe it. Then, when he's gone, you're going to claw the money back. All those deals. Elon will show you how to do it. Understanding the underlying reasons for President Trump's intense reaction. This is another thing to do is you gave the world a new hero. You gave. Pilgrim says he has USA ties and he's blocking Trump. Weak. You're not gonna. He might have maybe recused himself, but on the scale of things, Pilgrim, it is so weak. It is so Let other people worry about it. Let some Boris or let the Senate worry about that. I'm not worried about it. I only want big stuff. That's just chicken shit. And you did this. And Judge Gershon's daughter, who was involved in the hush money trial, his daughter was okay. All right. There's too much work. Too much. It's so much. It's like we're at this buffet, and you're saying, "What kind of parsley is this? Is this flat leaf parsley? Or is this kale? Who cares? Look, eat. Don't worry about this." Yeah, but I want to know, is this, it's got a limp. The kale, would you stop talking about the garnish? Stop it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's just, doesn't really matter. Look at what's happening. It's got the State of the Union tonight. Who gives a shit about this? Nobody cares. Who cares of this or that? They're talking about, well, and they're really getting on Pam Bondi. Well, now she's got more about Epstein. Would you be happy? Everybody's got it. I don't. Anyway, let me go back to what's going on right now. The world is talking. Focus on what the world is talking about. One thing, Zelensky. Everybody. It's European Union. And where are you getting your news? Where are you getting your news? For me, it'd be great. Go to RT, go to Global Research, go to Zero Hedge, go to Al Jazeera, go to TASS, go to places who are covering this. Do you think Judge Janine or Greg, what's his name? You know what it is, from Newsmax or whatever. I mean, do you really think, honestly, you're going to get into the deep skinny of this? No way. Kevin says, always look forward to you in the morning. You're sharp as a knife, my friend. Thank you for that. This is the best part. I want you to know what's going on. It's the good part. Where do you get your news? How do you know this stuff? They throw this crap out. It's nothing. Some of it's kind of interesting. I admit, I want to see the Meghan Markle, who's lost her sparkle, fascinates me. My world is the newspaper. What I mean by that is, a newspaper has a sports section, entertainment section, the fashion, the this, the theater, but that's what life is. Life is not one thing in particular, but if you're going to pay attention to something, make sure it's the right place. Why did President Trump go crazy like that? Why? He didn't want to meet with him. He didn't want to meet with his idiot. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He didn't want to meet with this fool. That's the most incredible thing I want to tell. And I don't even think, what's his name did? What does he want to get up early for? He's been up all night partying. He shows up with the... I don't even know. It's like, how could these people say, listen, we're at the end. Now it's time to change your clothes. It's like an act. When you're a musical act, when you're involved in, how do I say this? When you're involved in an act and you have an image, do you stick with it forever? One of the things that I've got, and I've always kind of joked about it in part, but my friend Curtis Lewa. Does Curtis Lewa think he's going to wear a red sateen, jacket that says Curtis? I mean, and a beret? I'm dead serious about this. He's like Zelensky. Some people are going to say, I don't know who this guy is. That's Curtis Lewa. Who is he? He's with the Guardian Angels. What the hell's a Guardian Angels? You're always, it's like in radio, the adage used to be, remember, there's always somebody getting into their car. There's always somebody new. So you always got to reset. Here we are. We're talking about. And you have to, that's why I hate radio, because you got to stop, you got news, traffic, weather, you got to come back, you got to reset it up. By the time you reset, that's right, we're talking about, oh, right, time for weather, and you go back to it, you go to weather, and you come back again, but you're always reintroducing yourself. So do you think people are going to understand that, oh, so he was big in the 70s, and he was 80s, and he was, oh, I see. So And I always tell him that he is a generalissimo of an imaginary group of urban commandos. There's like 4 guardian angels, and they're in their 80s. So the thing is, he's like Zelensky. Do you transition? Go now towards the show, wear the suit, look better. But no, because they don't care about optics. They don't care about anything. And what's amazing about this whole thing is what I think is so fascinating is that you have to look at a closer examination of the events that led up to the meeting and the dynamics and how they play. Also, they're going to be playing tonight. Tonight's State of the Union, people are going to be watching this. Nobody else cared about the State of the Union, but now, during the encounter, the broader geopolitical questions, that's what you're going to look at. So think about this. All of this pre-meeting, they should have known this. And what you did is that what they really did is they needed Gordon Soling and NWA. They needed Eddie Graham to work on the finish. Because Trump couldn't have done it better. Prior to the 28th meeting, February 20th, there were escalating tensions between the Trump administration and Zell. You know that, right? Absolutely, positively, they were going crazy. The U.S. had been an ally when you say the prior administration. But remember, it's not Joe Biden. Joe Biden couldn't tell you. Joe Biden probably said, "What the fuck are we talking about Ukraine for? What does Ukraine mean to me? What is it? You hate Putin. Why do I hate Putin? Because we're behind NATO. Why? Because of NATO. What do we need NATO for? Why are we in NATO? We don't need anybody. Why are we in NATO? Why are we agreeing under Article 5 to go to war with countries? Who's going to go to war with us? We don't. We're the biggest. We don't need NATO. Little countries need NATO. We don't. What is the purpose of this? I don't understand it. It's like if you were Errol Flynn, you don't need a wingman. You don't need somebody to run interfere. I mean, you don't need this stuff. I mean, these guys basically provided this military aid to support a country for no particular reason, which was completely a NATO operation, and to support its defense against Russian aggression, so they say. And why? Let me say this again. Why was there Russian aggression? Because of the fact that they were promoting this. They were goading President Putin. The same way the Russians theoretically goaded us because the Turkey missiles were a different story. But that's what the Cuban Missile Crisis in '62 was. It happens all the time. And we have to say what the thing is. So what if there's NATO batteries and missiles on the border? I mean, so what? Come on, he just got to live with it. He's just an aggressor. He just wants to bring back Soviet Union again. That's all he wants to do. He wants to be a Peter the Great. Peter the Great? What are you talking about? And his people are saying, hey, President, would you do something about this? Okay, I'm working on it. As opposed to, let them be. Don't be aggressive. Trump's administration began expressing concern over Ukraine's commitment to peace big time because they finally, which is a nice way of saying, look, President Trump knows this. President Trump should have said, maybe he did say this. Say, Zell, look, I know this is bullshit. I know you're pretending you're the pawn. You're the Potemkin village. It's not about you. It's about NATO. It's about the military-industrial complex. It's about the big bucks. It's about naked aggression. And the question is the effective assistance and effective utilization of U.S. assistance. That's the thing. Reports indicate that President Trump was going to him, going as much as he could, seeking assurances for him regarding efforts to resolve the ongoing conflict. Because they're doing back channel stuff with Putin. And Putin is telling him, ask him about this. Ask him how. And let me say this. I want you to tell everybody that you know. Remember this. Remember. Ricardo says NATO is one of many profitable franchises for the deep state. Absolutely. No, do you think any of them really think Russia, this Soviet Union relic? Did you ever read about Nitze or Nitz, Nitze, Nitze and Kennan? It was the greatest story about containment in the Cold War. You must know your history. You must be aware of the historical ramifications of this. The history. You can't possibly understand this. You can't possibly understand this unless you know kind of where all of this has been. But theoretically, I was going to tell you, remember, ask anybody this. Why did Boris Johnson interrupt and derail the commitment that they made? Why is it the commitment that they made? They were going to make 7 days after the military operation commenced. Remember what I always tell you. Always ask people the question. Whenever you talk to somebody about JFK, you say, "Oh, I think it was an good." Ask them one question. Why was there a bullet in the windshield? How do you have a bullet in the windshield when he's going away from the Texas School Book Depository? That's it, right? You answer me that, and I'll get back with you. That's a conspiracy. And number one, the best one with 9/11. Ask them about Shanksville. Where's the plane? What plane? What are you talking about? All right. So with this one, just ask everybody if Russia wanted to just take Crimea. I don't know what he wants. Why did he extend a hand out? And Zelensky was all for it. Zelensky said, "Look, I want to make the money. I don't want to destroy my country if at all possible. I kind of want to be a hero." Because here's the best part. I'd love to sit there with him and being the cop, whenever you're doing the interrogations of somebody. Remember, whatever the police tell you, they're lying. I'm sorry. Well, we got your man. They're singing a storm. Yeah, your co-defendant. He's in the room. He's saying he's giving you up. So why are you talking to me? If he's giving me up, you don't need me. You don't have anything. You're just saying that. I understand that. So, but there's this other way of saying, like, wow, look at you right now. They've all bonded out except for you. By the way, Mickey Mo, ladies and gentlemen, has gifted 10 Lionel Nation memberships. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you tremendously for that. So think about what's happening right now. So I'd love to sit there with Zelensky and say, they hate you, right? You're a joke. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you were the idiot in the dirty T-shirt. There's no, I mean, seriously, you're the joke. There is no, in the pantheon of, think about this, international characters, who is the joke? I mean, we have Ocasio-Cortez, we have people like Harold Stassen was kind of like, the perennial candidate was a joke. And people always joked about Generalissimo Francisco Franco. So he was not a joke. Who's a joke? You were central casting. They created you. You're a joke. You're a joke. You're a tooted up fool with your girl. You're just a pawn. And everybody knows this. Those people didn't see you. When you walked in, they played you like a puppet in D.C. They could have taken you and switched you with Emmanuel Lewis, TV's Webster. Nobody gives a shit about you. You're nothing to them. You were the centerpiece for the grift to take all that money along with. See, because you see, Zell, you came along right around USAID, before Elon, before Doge. You came along. See, everything was groovy. And the world, it's done now. Not only that, half of the stuff that you've got, you didn't have any money there. You didn't have any money. There is no money. We don't have, what do you think? We have cash? There's no cash. You've got some account in the Cayman Islands. And if you look at the numbers, it says this. Remember this one. Remember the $12 billion in cash. Remember this? It was 19. What am I saying? It was 2007. The U.S. flew nearly $12 billion in shrink-wrapped $100 bills into Iraq. Then distributed the cash with no control, no nothing. It was so big. In the year after the invasion of Iraq in 2003, nearly 281 million notes weighing 363 tons. Did you hear what I just said? Were sent from New York to Baghdad for disbursement to Iraqi ministries and U.S. contractors. They used C-130 planes. The deliveries took place once or twice a month, with the biggest of $2,401,600,000 on June 22nd, 2004, 6 days before the handover. 363 tons of cash. What do you think's in our boy's bank account? What do you think? What? Nothing. It's numbers. But he carries his own luggage, as did Jimmy Carter, by the way. Thank you. This is the greatest thing in the world. This is it. So Trump is meeting with him and said, look, we're going to play. Trump knows exactly what's going on. Because you also want people to understand that you can trust the United States, all right? You can trust us. So what happened was they have they wanted to make sure. Now listen, you're on board with the peaceful solution, right? Yeah. You're okay with this, right, Zelensky? Yeah. You sure about this? Oh yeah. You better be okay with this. And then the meeting happened. And then the meeting between Trump and President Zelensky, anticipated to address these issues and concerns and solidify the continued support and all that. However, the discussions quickly escalated into a contentious, and here is the thing. I don't know if JD, can you believe this, calling the vice president JD? He's the future president. I don't know if JD or Trump, maybe Trump did, but maybe he knew this. But do you know what somebody who's tooting it up a little bit? No, looks like. Do you know what this is like? Do you know what this irrational, unqualified, unearned bravura means? Do you understand what this means? Have you ever dealt with this? I know everybody's talking about this stuff, but has anybody asked? Has Ainsley or Harrison Ford or whatever her name is, Harrison Ford. Anyway, no. Has Greg Kelly or no? But listen to what they're saying in European stations. Listen to what international people are talking about. Listen elsewhere. You're not going to hear it here. Here you are, but you're not going to hear it. Listen to what they're saying. And if you really want to see something that will blow your mind, listen to Scott Ritter give props to President Trump. He says he's a genius. And the politicians like, what? Unbelievable. And let me tell you something right now. If you think that Trump and Bibi are like this, you're out of your mind. That's another thing. People wear their Israeli flag. That's terrific. I love Israel. Wonderful people. You're being fed a line of crap everywhere. You don't know. Let me stop. You know. I'm talking about people behind you. People maybe who are kind of like walking into the tent and says, who is this guy yelling? That's Uncle Lenny. What's he talking about? I'm talking about you, America. You don't know anything about this. You have no idea. It's like going to professional wrestling. No, this is not. No. The Von Brauners are not Nazi. No. They're managed by Gentleman Saul Weingroff. This is wrestling. This is a work. This is an angle. These are the heels. They're not ex-Nazis. He's not a Russian. Hogan's heroes. No. Colonel King, everybody was Jewish. Burkhalter, Hochstedt, no, it's a movie. No, cartoons are not real. That's what I have to do. That's where we are. It's the most incredible thing in the world. And how can people like Sean Hannity have on that pissant Lindsey Graham? Do you not understand? Tell me you know this. Or do these people just look at the numbers and say, I don't know. I'm just going for that CPAC crowd. You know what? If Sean Hannity told me, listen, I don't give a shit about these people. Here's my audience. I give them what they want. You want to open up a Chuck E. Cheese? Good. Guess who your audience is? Hello. But when this thing escalated with Zell and the president into this contentious exchange, President Trump accused Zelensky specifically of adopting this aggressive stance that could potentially escalate the conflict. And I'm being polite here. Increasing the risk of a broader war, of World War III. And what was that bullshit even? What was this nonsense? What was this nonsense that they were given? What was this nonsense they were given? This story about well, you know, they're going to come to your shores and what? What? What are you talking about? Are you threatening us? Are you threatening us? Oh, no. This is so critical, my friend. So critical. So monumentally critical. I got to calm down. This is bigger than anything I've ever seen, ever. This is bigger than anything I have seen. And you know what's even more important? What's even more important is we have to understand a couple of things here. That this is just the beginning. And tonight is going to be incredible. And now this. Listen to me. Are you drowning in debt? You're not alone. New reports show the average person is buried under $8,674 in credit card debt, with total consumer debt soaring to a staggering $104,215, including mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit cards. It's a financial crisis, and without a real solution, many will keep spiraling deeper. That's why I want to introduce you to a powerful secret weapon that has helped so many regain control. They specialize in consolidating all your debts into one manageable monthly payment and even negotiate a settlement so that you can pay less than you actually owe. Think about this. They've already settled over $275 million in debt. Think about that. Helping people break free in an average of just 28 months. I've personally recommended their services to friends and clients who needed a way out, and now I'm bringing it straight to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. So don't wait. Book a free consultation today, right now, at NoDebtWithLionel.com. That's NoDebtWithLionel.com. The link is right under the title here. It's time to take back control of your finances. Act now. Get out of debt and start living the life you deserve. Now, my friends, let's go back to what's going on right now. In finding out the truth and finding out how it is that you negotiate what's going on. Because if you don't know what the deal is, if you really don't, honest to God, don't understand it, then all of this is just I could be, if you don't know where we're going, I could be driving you anywhere. You could say, it's like if you're a cab driver in the old days, and they pick you up at the airport at JFK and they're driving you, they're going, up to FDR. No, you don't know. You're just taking their word for it. President Trump knows exactly what's going on. This is the focus. And people are insatiable over this. He had to deal with, specifically, there was a need. Zelensky had to tell them he has to engage earnestly in peace negotiations. Do you or do you not? Are you listening to Ursula? Are you listening to Keir Starmer? Who are you listening to? Macron? That jerk off from Connecticut? Who? Who are you listening to? And they caution against, by the way, actions that might be perceived as provocative. Be very careful. And then Zelensky, this still blows my mind. On the other hand, he defended Ukraine's position, expressing distrust, again, in Russia's commitment to any agreements without concrete security guarantees from Western allies. Isn't that nice? Schmuck, if you signed these mineral deals, if you had gone through with this, we would have had businesses there that would have gotten concessions from Russia that nobody could have gotten. But this is over with. And now they're saying, well, there's no information. There's no, Tony Schaefer and others, there's no evidence that they signed a deal with UK. Why? Because The people who provide this information are still running the show. Let me remind you of something. They're still going after this stupid transgender crap that nobody believes in. They're hanging on. It's all they have. And they're going to hang on. They're going to hang on to the last thing. Let me explain something. You ever dealt with a hoarder? You ever seen a hoarder? And they'll grab something and they'll say, look, we're throwing this away. You can't. No, there's rats in here. And they're in the chair. And no. And we have to get rid of that. No, not that. There's a dead possum in here. No, it's my favorite. And what they'll do is they'll hang on to something. They'll say, this is my shark's tooth. You can't take this. No. Okay, keep this shark's tooth. What the hell's the matter with this guy? That's the way the radical left is. They're going crazy. They don't have anything anymore. They don't even know that it's like they work at a movie theater that's been sold on Friday and they drive by it on the weekend and they don't know that it's not going to open up on Monday. They don't know. They don't really understand. They think it's business as usual because even the people in charge don't know what's changed. So what they're doing is they're actually telling these people, basically, hang on to this ridiculous notion about transgender and this and that. I don't understand it. Argue about, we want to arrest people at college campuses. I can't believe that one. I told you. By the way, do you hear what somebody must have gotten to the president? Do you hear what he said about the Tate brothers? He said, I don't know about that. Good. Those two are no good, Mr. President. You know it and I know it. And when Trump is done with you, he is done with you. That's it. See ya. Done. Western allies right now, they still don't know the movie's over. They want some kind of an assurance from him. And he underscored the fact that the challenges that Ukraine faced in defending its sovereignty and the necessity of continued military support from us because you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Remember that one? This is incredible. You want continued military support? And by the way, do me a favor, Zell. Stop this nonsense about military. You want the money. You want me to hand over. You want us to allocate more decimals, more numbers, zeros and ones to go on this effort because you, honest to God, have nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing. You're involved in none of this stuff. And you want me to keep blasting Putin? What's the matter with you? I'm trying to deal with him. He's got the nukes, not you. And everybody says it. Even they're asking JD. It got heated and you saw it. And by the way, I heard this yesterday listening to RT, my good friend Peter Lavelle and others. They could hear, the people who spoke Russian could hear what Zelensky was saying under his breath, and he was like profane. Oh, yeah. Now, remember, if you don't know that, see, these people won't even say that Joe Biden was out of his mind. They didn't even say that. This is the most important thing in the world. I've got absolute news. I don't know how to say it. You've got the two leaders raising voices, and President Trump had no interest in this. This wasn't a setup. It wasn't a setup. I don't think he wants to meet with the guy. Nobody knows why. But remember that Chris Murphy. Remember those guys, those jerk-offs? They're the ones who pushed this. And J.D. Vance, who was present during the meeting, is now providing insights. Oh, he's enjoying this because I was there. You don't know the background, the breakdown of what happened. Here's what happened to the discussion. He noted, the conversation deteriorated tremendously when President Zelensky appeared, shall we say, a little resistant to the idea of immediate peace talks without preconditions. I was like, what? Vice President Vance, of course, characterized Zelensky's approach as lacking any real serious and necessary flexibility to explore potential, diplomatic solutions, which contributed to the escalating tensions. Let me tell you something. Remember something. When you're about to be saved, you agree to everybody. Worry about the fine-tuning points. Later on, say, well, when I said I would have done that, that didn't mean I necessarily meant this. You agree to everything. Your life is on the line. And now there's a suspension of military aid. This is incredible. You went there to sign a mineral deal. You got nothing. You left with, you walked in and walked out with less. How do you do that? How do you do this? In the aftermath of what we see right now, in the aftermath of the president and in this meeting, Trump announced a suspension of all U.S. military aid to Ukraine. Isn't that great? And the decision was framed, I love this, as a measure to pressure Ukraine into coming to peace. Basically, it was, no, we suspended it and we ain't going to pick it up again because it's over. I hate you. I don't like you. You are a waste. Nobody wants this. Nobody, Mr. President, nobody in the country gives a shit. Pardon my, I'm sorry. But about, because I'm speaking to you like an adult. Nobody cares about Ukraine. Nobody. They never did. It was a thumbnail. It was one of these filters they had on their Facebook account. Hey, I stand with Ukraine. What does that mean? Why don't you send your kid over there? You can join. It's okay. Do it. I've got a friend of mine who might be watching right now. He's a dear friend of mine who's Russian. Showed me pictures, videos of people, old men, probably younger than me, in the Ukrainian army. They're grabbing people off the street. You want to do it? Do it. Take that flag down and do yourself. Put your money where your mouth is and go do it. Just like get that fat ass Victoria Nuland. Get her in there. Here's a rifle. There they are. Go get them. Knock yourself out. This is the most important. And the president right now is, to put it frankly, he's kind of reassessing continued military support on the in the absence of any clear path towards conflict resolution. What am I doing? Why am I giving this guy money who has no interest, or theoretically giving you money, who has no interest in doing anything to resolve the situation? And the suspension still encompasses a wide array of military assistance. Listen to this: weapon shipments and funding and defense initiatives. And there's repairs and parts and this. It is a big deal. And he said, that's it. It's done. And look at that sniveling little ferret, that weasel, that egg-sucking dog, that Lindsey Graham Gomer. Hey, Sergeant Carter. This guy, I could not, they have no self-respect. And this wonderful and abrupt suspension of military aid, there's no suspension. It's over. Elicited, as you can imagine, a spectrum of reactions from the international community. Oh, my God. European leaders. Oh, my God, European leaders. Yeah, European leaders, right. I got your European leaders right here. European leaders who have been staunch supporters of Ukraine for reasons, I don't know, expressed, as you can imagine, concern over the potential implications of regional stability, or rather instability. And they, of course, stood like Ursula, stood and reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Ukraine's sovereignty. Yes, and emphasized the importance of continued assistance. Conversely, Russian officials responded with approval, interpreting, by the way, saying to the president, very good, we're with you on this. Putin, you're not supposed to say that. This is what do you mean? You're not supposed to say you want peace. I've always said I wanted peace. That's not the script. I didn't write the script. You did. And they interpreted the U.S. decision as a potential shift in the geopolitical landscape that could be advantageous to strategic interests. Makes sense. Complete and total sense. Everything's changed. And the domestic political implication, oh my God, tonight, they're probably writing the State of the Union as we speak. Within the United States, the incident further, of course, polarized. Well, not only here, the already divided political landscape. Members of the Republican Party largely supported the decision. Certainly has to be accountability and effective use of U.S. resources and all that kind of bullshit. They also argue that the suspension, or that it's not really a suspension, I think it's just a complete total cessation of support, but in any event, that there was a move to encourage diplomatic resolutions and all that kind of jazz. Well, listen, the bottom line is very simply this. It's over. And of course, the Democrats criticize abandoning a key ally and potentially emboldening adversarial actions by Russia. Would you stop it? This would not have happened had you not, and they're still not in NATO. He's still not in NATO. What was this about? What? It was Victoria Nuland and the NATO folks playing Risk and chess. Ooh, we're movers. Take that, Kissinger. I'm the new Kissinger. And what about the underlying factors? What about the real behind the scene things? You know, some contributing aspects of this may have helped along in President Trump's complete disgust towards this twit. First of all, perceived stubbornness, contumacy, intransigence. There you go. President Trump was frustrated by what he correctly viewed this as Mr. Scarface there, as his unwillingness to engage in peace negotiations without preconditions. That's the part. Start off by saying, I'll do whatever you want, and then later on work backwards. This inflexibility was seen as an absolute obstacle and wasting President Trump's time. Simple. Next, he saw that Trump signaled what amounted to an absolute, intention to shift foreign policy focus towards other regions, such as Latin America and the Western Hemisphere. You see, this cessation, the cancellation of aid to Ukraine, is part of a broader strategy to reallocate resources in line with those priorities. It's a new world order and a new focus, and we don't even know. We have nothing to do. We don't care about it. I'm sorry to say this. Ukraine, nobody cares about what. Everything was fine until you did this. Everything was fine until you had the Donbass, until you had this, until you have the Maidan, these controlled and contrived and orchestrated, feigned revolts. I mean, we know they started this. None of this had to be. None of this. This is the most, showing the world a tough stance on foreign aid and making sure that our support, which I think should be virtually non-existent, is contingent upon, beneficiary countries basically providing specific expectations. This people love this. This reinforces President Trump's image as a leader, as a president, as a man who prioritizes American first interests. You see, this Oval Office confrontation. You see, eventually, when people go to the Oval Office, they always say, "Where did Bill Clinton?" You go, not in the desk, no, in that room on the side. Oh, okay. And what about whatever? And where were the bugging devices? Well, they were there. Now they're going to ask, where were they sitting? In front of the fireplace, right there. He was sitting right. Is this where it was? Yes, right there. This fight between our beloved president and that punk with a T-shirt, Belushi there, underscores the complexities, the intricacies, the labyrinthine considerations inherent in, of course, international diplomacy, especially when national interests and global security and all that stuff are at stake. Our President Trump decided and will suspend military aid. He's not going to suspend, he's going to end it, but let's just call it a suspension. Reflecting a kind of a confluence, if you will, of strategic considerations and plans and strategies. It's wonderful. And he's showing he's sick of these diplomatic impasses. And he wants to fix these things. He's not used to this BS. And as the situation evolves, the international community in the world will closely monitor this and also feel this incredible sense of respect for our president. Don't kid yourself. What you're seeing right now is a broader geopolitical chess, 4D, 5D chess. And this incident serves as a poignant and absolute incredible reminder of the balance that world leaders must navigate. And let me also tell you something. Listen to me right now. The next guy who shows up to the White House, he's going to remember this. He's going to remember where they were. He's going to understand the way that he must comport themselves and how you show respect. This is a masterclass. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure tonight we're going to be meeting, of course. Remember, stay subscribed here to Lionel Nation, which is critical. By the way, C3D now. Thank you so much. Thank you immensely for that. Remember, we're going to be going 7 o'clock as usual. Then we're going to watch it, and then we're going to meet afterwards, and I'm going to give you a review. I can write it now. I can write it now. This man is without peer. Zelensky prediction. You're going to find out something happened. His plane was lost. His a roadside something. Maybe he got one of those Israeli beepers left. I don't know. But that would end everything. And it would not elevate him to martyrdom. Again, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm just predicting it. All right. You don't want to elevate him to a sense of martyrdom, but you are going to see this. Guaranteed. I am telling you. You're going to see this. All right, my friends? You got this? Good. Let me say this to you, and listen to me. I love being with you. I love this time. I keep thinking, I'd make notes. They're going to love this. They're going to love this. They're going to love this. I want you always to say to your friends, remember, subscribe to Lionel Nation. It's critical. 87% of the people who watch don't subscribe. Tell your friends. This is an hour. This is here. It's here. And I'm giving you a flavor for it. You're not going to be able to spout. I'm not sitting here. And now let's go to Karl Rove. Karl, what do you think? Well, this is, as you can imagine, a pretty tense situation. Poll show. Here's my little whiteboard that I stole from Tim Russert. There's a whiteboard show. What is this? That's not what I want you to know. I want you to understand the story. It's like going to an opera, and I'm explaining to you, some Puccini aria. I'm telling you, this is what this means. This is the background. This is the story. It's wrestling. He's a babyface. He's a heel. Here's the angle. Bring in heat. This is the finish. This is a Broadway. This is kayfabe. This is a shoot. That's exactly what's going on. You'll never see anything like this in the real time. You will never see anything like this in any time soon. So Pilgrim Media, I thank you so much. 3 CD now, I think I said that. Tom Malloy, Mickey Mo, thank you for your gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Ricardo. Kevin Ujvari in Fallopian too. Pilgrim, thank you. OA, Raul, Cece, and Yogi Fish, new members. God bless yous. All right, so get ready. We're going to be watching this tonight, and then afterwards. So we're going to have a long night. It's going to be good. He goes on at 9. We may do it after, whenever it's done, 11 o'clock. I'll be here ready to go. I love this. I love my country, and I love being here. You have no idea. I have never had more fun doing this than I do now. Never. Because sometimes it can get boring. Not now. Follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Don't forget our sister channel, Lionel Legal, and this Lionel Nation. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dad.